Hello everybody, I'm Jonathan Kauser. I'm going to be the instructor for you in this class, Introduction to Historical Method. I just wanted to give you a quick video, first of all, to welcome everybody to the class. We've already been posting on the introductions board, which is great. Glad to be hearing where everybody's coming from. We're a small group, so we should have the chance to really be able to exchange ideas quite a bit and interact with one another. And just wanted to mention a few things quickly about the class. The fundamental goal of this course is to help you make the jump from being a history buff, sort of an amateur person who's interested in history, to becoming a historian, a person who has an actual sense of the techniques, the methods, the mentalities that go into pursuing the formal study of history, the actual academic study of history. There are two major kinds of things that are going to happen in this course. You're going to notice as you look through the syllabus that we have frequent assignments, very frequent written assignments that you'll be doing starting next week. What those assignments are mostly oriented towards is one of two things. Some of them are aimed towards what we call primary sources. Primary sources in history, if you're not familiar with the idea already, are things that were written or produced during the period of time that you're trying to study. If you're studying colonial New England, we're talking about the writings of colonial New Englanders. If we're studying medieval Europe, the writings of medieval Europeans, or ancient Chinese people, or whatever other people are actual members of the society that you're trying to study. Those are primary sources. All good history is written on the basis of primary sources, and so one thing that's going to be important during this class is going to be paying attention to primary sources, and you have a number of writing exercises designed to analyze primary sources and get you thinking about how to work with those. The other writing assignments are aimed towards secondary sources. Secondary sources mean sources of information, books, articles, readings, which were written not by people in the period of time or the culture that we're trying to study, but rather by modern historians. Most history books you've probably read, websites you've looked at, anything else you may have looked at in terms of history magazine articles, things like that, written by modern people are secondary sources, using primary sources and putting them together in order to produce their own narrative or their own interpretation of what was actually going on in the past. So one thing I want to just impress on you is that it's going to be very important. We have a lot of reading. We don't have a class time taking up hours every week. You're going to be focusing a lot more time on studying these readings. So make sure that you keep up with the readings and make sure that you keep up with writing notes on them and getting those weekly responses in. We don't have a lot of big 5-10 page papers going on in this class. Rather, this is very much about frequent analysis of either primary sources or secondary sources. The one other major assignment that's going to be a part of this class is what we call the research proposal. That will come towards the end of the semester. I'll explain it in more detail, but that's about developing your research skills. You won't be writing a full-bore research paper, but you will be getting familiar with library resources, getting familiar with information resources, and taking an approach on how to do that. For this week, what I'd like you to do, I know some of you have already started doing, is first of all post on the introduction forum and take a look at the documents I've posted, especially the document on historiography. Historiography is the history of history. I want you to start thinking about how history as a profession, as a field of study has changed, how historians writing today may differ from historians writing 50 or 100 years ago, and think about how that affects your own perception of history and how you yourself think about what goes on in the past. So I'm looking forward to a great semester. Please, of course, feel free to email me if any questions come up, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of your contributions. Thank you very much.